Okay, so hello everyone. This is part 16 of our Django playlist. In this video, we are going to learn about how we can render database data on template. What does it mean? Let me tell you simply. So what we are going to do in this video, basically, for example, suppose this is what? This is our database, right? This is what database. And inside the database, we have employee information, or we can say employee table is there in database. Okay, so this table I have to render on my computer screen, or we can say I have to display data here on template, okay, in HTML form. Okay, so how we can do this? So how we will fetch this database data? So with the help of view, we will create one view. Okay, in views.py, we will write code to fetch the data. So inside the views.py, we write the logic. We will write the logic to fetch employee tables data, right? So how we will fetch? Generally, how we will fetch data from the table? So we write SQL command, which is select star from. Okay, like that we write from table name. Whatever your table is, select star from table. But here in views.py, we will write which command? ORM command. Okay, what we will write? We will write here ORM command, which is equivalent to this SQL command. Okay, because we cannot write here in views.py, we cannot write SQL command. That's the reason we will write here ORM command. What is the meaning of ORM? Object relational mapping. Okay, so here what how we will fetch? Instead of writing this, we will write object.all. Okay, object.all is a command to fetch data from this database, right? So like that we will do. After it, this template data, what we are going to do? Okay, whatever data we have fetched, this data we will send to the template. Okay, we will create our index file. We will create one index file inside what? Templates folder. So suppose this is what? emp.html. emp.html. So we will write here HTML code, and here we will display whatever data coming from views.py. We will display that data. Okay, so we views.py taking data from database, and this views.py sending data to the HTML template, and this template data will display, or we can say it will render on our browser, right? So this is the procedure we have to do. So what we will do first we will create database, right? We will create database. We will, okay, we will start from the scratch, means we will start with project. We will create a Django project, right? Register our application, then we will create database. We will create template, static files and all. Okay, so this video can be a little lengthy, but you guys need to have patience, right, to understand this. So I hope overall you are understanding what we are going to do. Okay, so let's start now. Okay, so what we are going to do, see here, read, okay, not react, it's read data from what? From where? From where we are going to read data? Read data from the database. Okay, and display to the end user. Who is the end user? The person who is using our application. So we have to display that data on data to end user, right? So this is our target, right? And what are the steps are involved in this? So first, what we will do, let me write all the steps first, so it will be easy for us. So first one, what we will do, create a project. Okay, so what are the commands to create the projects? We already know. Okay, I will tell you also. And then what we will do, we will create an application, or we can say create application or start an application. Okay, application or app, create an app, right? And next, what is the third step? Add app in settings.py. Okay, so we add our application, whatever app we will create, we will add inside what settings.py. After that, what is the fourth step? So fourth step is add database configuration in settings.py. See, if you are going to use external database, if you are going to use external database, then you need to change the configuration. You have to mention the configuration of new database. In previous video, we worked on MySQL, okay, which is external database. So that's the reason we added configuration in settings.py. But here we will use default database. What is the default database provided by the Django? That is SQLite 3. So if you are using the default database which is provided by Django, means you don't need to configure the database setting. Okay, so database settings will be same. But if you are using external database like MySQL or MongoDB, okay, or Oracle, so what you need to configure the database settings, right? And what is the fifth step? Okay, once you, for example, if you are using external database, so you need to test whether your connection proper or not. So in order to test our connection, we have, okay, what we will do in fifth step, test database connection. Okay, in previous video, we have seen how we can test our database connection. So for testing purpose, we have created connection object. So after connection object, if it is error, then database connection is not configured properly. Otherwise, database connection successfully established. But if you are using default database, which is from which is SQLite 3, so you don't need to test because it is already connected because SQLite provided by the Django. What is the sixth step we have to do? Create model class. Okay, create model class is nothing but we will create table. Okay, we will create table. Okay, and after that, what we will do? We will write make migration and migrate. We will write these two commands. Okay, we will write these two commands: make migrations and migrate. Okay, make migration is for what? Make migration is for converting our Python code into what? SQL code. And migrate means it will store our SQL code inside what database. Okay, we will see. So these steps we will follow, right? That's why I'm writing steps first. Then after that, register to add. Okay, so we have to register admin and model admin, right? We have to register model admin as well inside what? Admin.py. Okay, we will see how we can register this. Okay, and next step, so after that what we have to do, because we have to check our database. Okay, so what is the next step? Next step is create super user. Okay, we have to create super user. And what is the 10th step? Now we will log into admin interface and check table created or not. Okay, because if you will create super user, then only you can log in, because at the time creating super user it will ask you username and password. So with the help of that password and username you can log in. So that's the reason we need to create super user in order to log in with admin interface. Okay, now after that what we will do, we will create template files. Okay, templates files are nothing but HTML files. And what are the static files? Static files. What are the static files? Static files means images and CSS, JavaScript. These are what? Like static files. And corresponding corresponding what we have to do? Corresponding configuration in settings.py. Right? Okay. Now, what is the last step? We have to, okay, what we have to do? Okay, what we have to do? We have to create function inside what view. So what we have to do? View function to communicate with database and to get data and to get data and send this data to template file, which is responsible to display to end user. Okay, what I said to you previously means we will create one ORM inside what views.py. ORM means we will create one function and we will write ORM command. Okay, after that we will send this data to the template and template to like end user. End user will see our data here on the computer, right? So these steps we have to follow. How many steps total? 12 steps are involved. Okay, let me decrease the font size little bit so you guys can vis- easily see the steps. Okay, so these are the steps we have to follow. So what we will do, let's okay, so let's follow all step one by one. So first step is create a project and create a app. So let's create a project first. So let me go in my directory. Okay, in D drive I will go inside the D drive, Django temp and projects, and here I'll create one folder. Folder name is P6. Okay, so let's go inside this folder. Now what I will do, I will open CMD. Okay, so I am in which folder? P6. Okay, let me clean this CLS. Now I will write the command to create a project. So what command we have to write? Django admin. Okay, Django admin start project. Okay, Django admin start project. And which project it is? We can say database project. What is our project name? Database project. Okay, press enter. So our project is created or not? Let's see. So database project is created now. What we have to do, we have to go inside this project folder. What is the project folder? Database project. What is our project folder name? Database project. So here I have to go. So I have to change the directory means cd database project. Okay. Now I am inside what? Database project folder. Now what I have to do, I will create my application. What is the second step? Create an app. Okay. After creating the project, create an app. Okay. So how to create? Py manage.py start app. What's the app name? Test app I'm writing. Okay. App name is what? Test app. Okay. Press enter. Okay. So it has created our application. Now let me open this folder, this project folder inside what? Inside VS Code. So I will write here code dot. So it will automatically open my folder in VS Code, right? So it is opened in VS Code. Now let's see what is the next step. Add app in settings.py. Okay, let's go into the settings.py and add application. Okay, inside the installed app, we have to register our application. What app we have created? Test app, right? So, okay, registered. After that, what we have to do? Add database configurations in settings.py. So, where is database configuration? Here is the database configuration. So, which database I'm going to use here? I will use the same database, which is SQLite 3. So, it will be same. So, database configuration will be default. Why? Because I'm not using any other database. I'm using SQLite 3 only, right? So, let's skip this skip. This is step, fourth step. Okay, do I need to test the database connection? No, I don't need to check the database connection because I'm not using any external. It will not give any error because connection by default created by the Django. Okay, so whenever you are using another database like MySQL, so you have to configure this, right? In previous video I have already told you how we can configure and how we can test the connection. So we don't need these two steps. Okay, this step we will skip and this step we will skip. Okay, next step is create model class. Now what we have to do? We have to create one model class. So where we will create this model class? Go to the project and here inside the test app, you will see one file models.py. So here we will create our model. Okay, why we are creating this model? Because because we want to store a table inside our database. Okay, because we didn't create any database. Okay, so we will create what model. Model is nothing but we will create one table. Okay, then that table will be converted into SQL code with the help of migrations, and it will store inside database with the help of migrate, right? So let's see. So how to create model? Nothing but we will create employee class here. Okay, so create employee class. Okay, and here we will write models dot model, right? And now what are the columns you required in your table? So what are the columns should be there in your table? So create the variables. Okay, this variable will convert into the column, table column, right? So that's why we are creating first one should be employee number. So what I will write models dot which field? Integer field. Okay, and next is name, employee name. So models dot, I hope it is visible to you. Okay, models dot care field. Okay, what is the length? I will give length is what? 30, right? Next, I will give salary. What is the salary of the employee? So models dot which field? Float field we can take, right? And after that, address. What is the employee address? So models dot address means character field. Okay, what is the length? Let's give 40, right? So this is how we have created this model class, right? Now this model class we have to convert into what? Like SQL code. Okay, this is what Python code. This is what Python code. But database understand what language? Database understand only one language, which is what is the database language? SQL. Database understand SQL, right? Okay, let me show you. Okay, let me delete this. Okay, so this code, what will happen? This code will convert it into what? SQL. Okay, and this SQL code we will store inside what? Database. Inside our database. So it will create one employee table in our database. Okay, it will create one employee table in database. So who will convert this code into SQL? So we have one command. What's the command? Make migration. We have command make migration. Okay, so which command we have? Make migration. Make migration command is responsible to convert this Python code into what? SQL code. And who will store this SQL code inside the database? So we have another command which is migrate. Right? So migrate command is responsible to store this SQL code into a database, right? So these two steps we have to do. We have to convert into what? SQL, this code into SQL, and second step is we have to store inside what? Database. Okay, so let's do it. So here What I will do, I will write py manage.py. Okay, make migration. Okay, make sure you are writing correct spelling. Okay, if spelling is wrong, then error will come. So py manage.py make migration. Make sure you are inside the project folder. Okay, if you will not be the project, if you will not be inside the project folder, means again you will get error. Okay, so let me press enter. So it has created our employee table. Okay, now, so how much work we have completed? We have converted into what? SQL. We have converted into SQL. Now we have to store this inside database. So which command we will use? Migrate. Okay. So we will write here py manage.py. Okay. Migrate. So migrate means it will create tables and store inside the database, and it will create default table as well. Okay. Supporting table. Okay. It will not create one table, but it will create uh, like other tables also, means it will store other table also in database. So see, okay, so means it has stored our table and other tables into one database, right? So what is the next step? What is the next step? Let's see. So create model class and make migration and migrate completed, and after that register to admin and model admin inside admin.py. So let's go inside admin.py. Where is admin.py? So here is what admin.py. So what we have to do, we have to register this model. So where is our model? Where is our model? Inside the model.py. Our model is present inside the models.py. Okay, so from which file? From, okay, from where? From test model. Okay, because our model is inside what? Test app folder. So that's why I will write here test app. Okay, and what's the file name? Models.py. Okay, models of import. What you what you want to import from models. So here is model file, and I have model. What is my model name? Employee. Okay, so this employee class I will import. So right here employee, right? So from test app models, I want to import employee. Why? Because I want to register it. Okay, so how to register? How we will register it? So we will create one class. What's the class name? Employee admin. Okay, so when you will do these steps repeatedly, then you will be able to understand each and everything. Okay, by practice you can easily understand. So don't worry, just practice. Admin dot model admin, right? So this we have to write, and after that, what we have to write? We have to write here. We have to create here one list. Okay, list means like how many columns are there in your table. Okay, employee number is there, name is there, salary is there, and address is there, means total four columns are there. So we have to create four column. Okay, we have to create four data list, we can say, right? So here first column is what? Your first column is e number, employee number. What is your second column? Second column is e name. Okay, what is the third column? Third column name is e cell. Okay, means employee salary. And the last one is e-address, nothing but employee address, right? And what we will do, we will store this list inside a variable. We will store this list inside a variable. So what is the variable name? List display. Okay, we will assign inside what? List display. After that, what we have to do, we have to write this command, right? Admin dot site dot register. Okay, this is a command to register. Make sure you are writing this command outside the class, not inside the class. This is what? See, this is what? Inside the class, but we have to go outside the class. Register, and what we have to register? Employee, comma, employee admin, right? So we have to write here employee, comma, employee admin, right? Okay, next. Okay, and this is the procedure to register our application, right? And what is the next step? Next step, let's see what is the next step. Next step is to create super user. After registration, what is the next step? Create super user. So let's create super user now. Okay, open CMD and let me just clear it. CLS. Okay, here what we have to write? We have to create super user. So what is the command to create super user? Py manage.py, right? Create super user. Create super user. Press enter. Okay, so now it is asking username. It is asking username. So username I'm giving here what? MOST. Okay. Address is what? most@gmail.com. Right? And password is 123. Again password 123. Okay, it is saying what this is short password and common thing. So yes, I am not worried about my password. Okay, so it has created our super user. After super user, what we have to do? Log in to admin interface and check table created or not. Okay, log into the admin interface. So before login, what we need to do? We have to run our server. Okay, so how we can run our server? Py manage.py run server. Okay, so it will start our server. So just copy this URL. Okay, so open the browser and now paste URL and press enter. So our application is running. Now where we have to go? We have to go to the interface, admin interface. Okay, so what command we have to type here? We will write here /admin, right? /admin and press enter. It is asking what? Username and password. So username is MOST and password is 123. Login. Okay. After that, what it is showing? It is showing our employee table. If it is showing employee table under test tab, so means our model registered successfully and super user also created. Okay, so when you add an employee, so it is asking three things: employee number, employee name, and employee salary and employee address. So these are the three things we have created in model class, right or no? We have already created this in model class. In model class, what we have created, see, employee number, name, salary, and address. So same thing it is asking. Suppose I am giving employee name is 101, employee name is, okay, I'm giving my name, and employee salary suppose 20,000, employee address is what? Suppose Hyderabad. Okay, save it. Okay, let's add another employee 102. Employee name is suppose Raju. Salary is like 10,000. Address is what? Like Noida. Okay, so we have this two employee. Let's add one more employee. Okay, 103. Okay, let's add Doraemon. Okay, salary is what? 15,000. And address is what? Address is what? Like we can say Delhi. Okay, let's add one more employee. Okay, 104, I guess. Yes. And now the salary is what? 12,000. And address is what? Address is Jaipur. Save it. So we have this for employees data. Now what we have to do, basically we have to display this employee data on template. Okay, we have created this database and we have data also, employee data. We have to display this data to the end user. Okay, so what we will do now, Okay, so what I said to you earlier, what we will do first, so let me just delete this. What I said, first we will create database. Okay, so database is already created and employee table is already there. So what we will do, this view will communicate to this, to what employee. It will fetch data, view will fetch data from employee. So what we will write inside view, we will write ORM, object relationship mapping. Okay, so it is nothing but it is the similar command like SQL command select star. Okay, select star. Okay, so select star from like employee. We will write in SQL, but in ORM we will write what we will write. We will write ORM command. Like for example, object dot all. Like that we will write one command. Okay, so basically we will create here one function, and that function we will write ORM command, right? And we will send this to HTML. We will create HTML template. We will send this to the HTML template. Okay, from HTML we will render it to the end user. Okay, so these steps we have to follow now. And this step is already done. Now we have to complete this step. Okay, one is completed, second we have to complete, then third step and fourth step, right? So let's do it. So what we have to do, we have to create one view. Okay, so what I will do first, first I will fetch our model employee from test app dot models import employee. Okay, we got the employee, and after that what we will do, we will create one function. What is the function name? Emp data. Okay, underscore view we can say, and request will come, whatever request will come. So what we have to do now, we have to write ORM command. Okay, so we have to fetch data from the database. We have to fetch the data from the database. What is the database table name? Employee. So we will write here e employee dot object. Okay, objects dot all, right? So this is nothing but, this command is nothing but, it is similar to select star from employee. Okay, so both are similar. Employee means E is capital. So this is what ORM command, and this is what SQL command, right? And we will store this data, whatever data will come from the database, we will store inside what? EMP list, right? EMP list. We have already created this EMP list now. So we will store inside what? Employee list, whatever data will come. Now what we will do, we will create one dictionary and we will send this data. So what we will return? We will return and render. Okay, so first one is request. Okay, and second one is test app. Okay, and we have to send it inside the test app emp.html. But emp.html is not created yet, but we will create. And what we have to send? We have to send one dictionary. So how to send dictionary? Context equals to and your dictionary name. Okay, so I haven't created some dictionary, so I'll create dictionary here. So dictionary name is mydic equals to, and we will create dictionary which contain key and values. So key is what? EMP list, right? And what's the dictionary? What is the dictionary value? EMP list itself. EMP list, right? Okay, so what steps we have done now? We have done the second step also. The second step is also completed. Now we have to create this HTML file. Okay, we have to create the HTML template. So how to create the HTML templates? Okay, see here also the next step. We have to create template and static files. Static files for CSS and images. Template is what? Template is for HTML. So what we will do inside the project? Okay, inside the project means here. on the top. Okay, this is the project. Inside this project, we have to create one folder. What is the folder name? Which folder we are going to create? Template folder. Okay, template folder. Okay, inside the template folder, what we will create? We will create another folder with same name, whatever our application name is. So what is our application name? Test app. So we have created one folder test app. And inside this, we will create one HTML file. What is the HTML file? emp.html. So let's create inside the test app. Okay, template test app. We will create emp.html. Okay, so here we have created this. So our employee .html created by us and this template folder itself created by us. So means our Django don't know about this template folder. So we have to register this template folder inside our settings.py. So go to the settings.py and we have already know how we can add our template folder. So here is what at line number 16. Just see at line number 16, we have base dir. Base dir contains the path of our project directory. Okay. So what we will do, because our template folder itself inside the project directory. So we will say, okay, we will create templates dir also. Templates dir. And here what we have to do, we have to write here base dir. Why I am writing base dir? Because this base dir containing this location. Which location? This location. Okay, can you see this location contained by the base dir? So inside the base dir we have one folder which is templates. Okay, so I will write here template. Okay, so my folder name is template, right? And after that what we have to do, after that we have to give this template dir to this, to here inside the templates we have dirs. So we will mention here template dir, templates dir. Okay, so this is how we can register, this is how we can register our template. Now let's see whether it's working or not. Okay, go to the emp.html. Let me write some code. Okay, and let me write here what we are going to write. We are going to write h1 hello world. Okay, now let's see whether it's this like what we can say this HTML is working or not. So in order to check it is successfully working or not, means our template registered successfully or not, what we have to do, basically we have to go to the views.py. Okay, and what we will do, we will just, okay, what we have to do, we missed here in context we have to write my day. Okay, we have to send dictionary also. For the time being I'm just commenting this. Okay, why I'm commenting this? Because I want to check this HTML working or not. So that's why I'm creating another view for checking purpose. So I'm creating one demo view. This is just for checking. You don't need to like write this code. Just I'm writing for checking purpose only. So I'm writing return and render and request. And what is my file name? Test app dem. Okay, what is emp.html? Okay, and for this view, I need to create one URL also. So URL file is in project folder urls.py. So I will create one URL. But before creating URL, just add and from test app import views. Okay, because for one view, I will create one URL path. Okay, I'm writing here testing. Okay, views dot what's the name? Dem. Okay, demo view we have created. Now what we have to do? Go to the CMD. Okay, let me just clear it. CLS py manage.py run server. Okay, so let's go to the browser and refresh it. So what URL we are getting? We are getting a URL called testing. So let's give this URL here, testing. Okay, and press enter. So hello world is coming. Okay, suppose let me change the text in HTML. Let me write this more text. So is it changing? Refresh. Yeah, so it is working successfully. So what I will do, I will just delete this URL. Okay, I will delete this URL and this also, because this was only for testing purpose. I'm deleting this also. I'm just uncommenting this. Okay, so I uncommented this. Now what we have to do? So from views, what we are sending? We are sending one dictionary. We are sending one dictionary, and this dictionary have employee information, employee detail. As you can see here, this view is sending what? Employee details, because it is fetching employee detail from the employee database, and we are sending to what? HTML. So on HTML, we have to display it in the form of table. We will write table code and we will display this data. Alright, so go to the HTML and write the code. So first, what we have to do? Just delete this. And here we have to write H1 employee list. Okay, or we can say employee details. Right? And after that, I will give one horizontal line. How to give HR? Just write HR tag for a horizontal line. Okay, next what we have to do? Okay, we have to write condition. Suppose we are fetching data from the database, and suppose like in case data is not there in database, so view will not get anything, means data is what? Zero. If we are sending zero data, means it should say on HTML, it should display data is not found, data not found. So we will write condition here. We will use ginger template here. So like this, we will write if condition. So if condition is what? If emp emp list. Okay, emp list. Okay, what we have employee list. If this employee list, what we are doing here, select star from employee, means we are writing employee dot objects dot all. If it is empty, employee list is empty, then what we have to do? If employee list is empty, if employee list, okay, if it is empty, means this condition will false. Okay, if it is not empty, means the condition will be true. If it is empty, means condition will false. Okay, if condition will false, what we will do? It will come to the else part. Okay, it will come to the else part. Condition false means it will come to the else part, and here we have to show one message. Okay, we have to show one message. Which message we are going to show? Okay, no records found. Okay, no record found means if condition is true, means here we will write code to display data. If it is false, means else we will display what? No record found. Okay, let me end the if. So we need to end if also. And if. Okay, so this is how we can end if. Okay, here we have to write the suppose data is there. Suppose data is there in list, so how we will display the data? We will display data in the form of table. Okay, so we will create one table tag, and inside the table we will create table header. Okay, so what we are going to create? We are going to create table header. So table head, inside the table head we will create table. Okay, column. Okay, th, table heading, columns. Okay, so first one is e number, employee number. Second one is e name, right? And the third one is e salary, right? And another one is address, right? So these are the columns we are going to display. Okay, so these columns are nothing but, don't be confused, these columns are nothing but it is created something like this. Okay, these columns are created, e number, okay, e number is created, okay, e name, okay, like that it is created. Now what we need data inside the table. So we need inside the data inside the table. So we need to create more rows. Okay, R1, R2, R3, like that. So it can have more one row or more than one row. Means we have to iterate. Okay, we have to iterate. We will write one for loop. Okay, let's see how we will write. So here after th, what we have to do? We have to write for loop, because we have to display data one after another. Means one by one we have to display table data. So that's the reason the task is repetitive. That's why I'm using for loop. Okay, so for emp, for emp in emp list, right? Okay, so repeat until data is inside the employee list. Okay, print data until data exists inside the employee list. Okay, and this for loop will end. Okay, we have to end for loop as well. Okay, so in between we have to repeat the rows. Okay, we have to create rows. So how we will create row? Tr. Okay, and in one row how many data will come? Like how much data we have to display in one row? In one row we have to display one employee number, second is employee name, third is employee, okay, salary, and employee address. Means four data we have to display. So we need to create four td. Okay, td means table data. So for creating four td, what I will do, I will write here td multiply by 4. Okay, so it has created 4 td. Okay, and data will come through this emp, because this emp is a variable which is taking data from emp list, and we have to display here, right? Okay, so what we will write here? We will write here emp dot e number. Okay, first data is e number. Okay, next emp dot e name, right? And after that emp dot e cell, right? And after that emp dot e address, correct? So this rows we have to repeat. This row we have to repeat. Otherwise we can't write manually 5 rows and 10 rows. Suppose there are 1,000 rows are there in database, so will we write 1,000 rows one by one manually? That is wrong. So that's the reason we have created for loop. Okay, so with the help of for loop, if row is 1, it will execute one time. If row is 2, it will execute 2 times. It will generate 2 rows. Okay, so I hope you are understanding. Okay, let me create table border also. Border, okay, border is what, 3, or we can say 2. Okay, all right. Now what we have to do for this view, what the view we have, emp data view. For this view we have to create one endpoint. Endpoint is nothing but we have to create one url. So go to the settings, I mean go to the project folder and urls.py, and here create one url. Before creating url, just add import views. So from test tab, because view available inside what, test tab. So from test tab import views. Okay, and inside the view we have, our view name is emp data view. Okay, so path. Okay, so what path we have to give? Let me write here emp slash, okay, views dot, what is the data, emp data view. Okay, so this is how we have created one endpoint. Now let's check our application. It's running properly or not. Okay, so let me just stop the server, clean the screen, again start the server. Okay, py manage.py run server. Okay, so it has started my server. Let me just copy it once again. Go here and paste here. Okay, so it is showing me two endpoints. One is for admin, another is for employee. Okay, so I will go to this endpoint, emp endpoint. So I will type here emp. Okay, so this data is coming. Okay, this data is coming. Okay, let me show you once again. One more thing. Okay, so what is the URL? URL is this. Okay, URL is this. Let me copy the URL. So it is showing two endpoint. One is admin and second is emp. Let's go to the admin endpoint. Okay, so admin. Okay, so see inside the admin we have employees table. Go to the employees. So this is the data inside the database. Okay, this is the data inside the database and same data we are displaying here. Are we able to display our data? Yes, it is displaying data here, right? If you will add one more data, one more row, so what will happen? 105, right? And GR, okay. Salary is what? 8,000. And address is what? Address is, okay, Hyderabad. So, okay, save it. Okay, now go here and refresh it. So can you see one more entry is coming? One more entry is coming. Suppose if data is not, okay, so what steps we have completed? See once. Okay, so we have fetched data from the database with the help of view ORM. Okay, then we have written HTML code. We have written HTML code and we are displaying to the end user. We are displaying to whom? We are displaying to end user. Okay, with the help of HTML, we have written code. So in the form of table, we are displaying on HTML means we are displaying this to the end user. Okay, and data is coming. So in HTML, we have written one condition, one more condition. What is the condition we have written? Suppose if this condition is false, when this condition will false, when data is not there inside the table. Okay, but as of now, we can see data is there inside the table. Okay, let's delete the data. Okay, suppose if I delete these three rows, so will there will be any impact? Okay, go. Yes. Okay, so let's see how many entries now. Refresh. So there are two entries. Let me delete all the entries. Okay, I mean we have to select this. Delete. Yes. Okay, so zero employee. There is no entry inside what? Employee table. So what will happen? Just refresh it and it is saying no record found. So what it is displaying no record found. So we have written the condition for no record found. Else means when this if condition will false, when this if condition will false, then it will come to the else. Okay, so else is outside the table. So means when it is else means condition false, it no need to generate the table. Okay, generate table when data is there. If data is not there, no need to generate table. Okay, no record found. Okay, so this is how we have completed this, how we can create the database, how we can fetch the data from the database, how we can register the model. Okay, so these all steps we have followed and we have created one project which is fetching our data from the database and displaying to end user. So I hope you are clear with this today's lecture. So I hope you enjoyed this lecture. If you have any comment or any question to ask, right, you can write comment. Okay, you can write your query in comment section and I will try to give my best reply for the problem. All right, so thank you everyone for watching this video.